What is community? In its most thought of form, it's the area or region in which someone may live. However, it is often much more. Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines community as a unified body of individuals. This can be organizations with common ideals, or a group of professionals with similar interests, and so on. I want to analyze the hunting community. Let that sink in for a second. Hunting, in its most raw form, was all about survival. Since the beginning of mankind, it was a means of getting meat, skin, bones, other things that were needed to survive. As mankind has evolved, hunting soon became more than just about survival. It became a sport. Many members of the hunting community participate in hunting as a means of sport. But at the same time, they're doing their part in making the community a safer, better place and making an important impact on all of society. One great thing about the hunting community is how welcoming it is. Nearly anyone with an interest in hunting or a passion for the outdoors can become a part of the hunting community. In the state of Missouri, children over the age of 15 are required to pass a hunter's certification test. Upon doing so, they're able to hunt the rest of their life with no additional training, schooling, testing, etc. All they have to do is stick to established season dates, daily and total bag limits. Pretty simple. I joined the hunting community when I was 11 years old. I took my test, got to go pick out my first rifle, prepared for my first ever deer hunt. That November, with just a little bit of preparation, sighting in my rifle, I headed out into the darkness of an early morning, and for the first time ever got to say, I'm going hunting. I digress. One of the most disappointing things, aside from an unsuccessful hunt, are the set seasons and bag limits that I previously mentioned. However, they have a good place in the sport. According to National Wildlife Magazine, Volume 38, Number 1, titled How Conservation Grew from a Whisper to a Roar. In the 1920s, as a result of predator control programs, the number of mule deer had skyrocketed near the Kaibab Plateau along Grand Canyon's North Ridge. This large population had ravaged the vegetation, leaving sparse amounts of food, and as a result, thousands of deer dying throughout the cold winters. Other game management failures were reported in the same magazine, and I quote, "Following the widespread extermination of owls, hawks, and coyotes, 2 of 3 which are now protected, in Kern County, California, in 1927, mice overran homes, and road-killed rodents made driving slippery." Kind of nasty if you ask me. So, by having well-established seasons, proper bag limits, hunters aid in regulating population and preventing large increases or sharp decreases in populations. In fact, according to Emily Rupertus, a published writer on NRA blog, says the results from conservation efforts dating back to the early 1900s have been astonishing. She states that the numbers speak for themselves. As a quick example, she wrote, white-tailed deer went from 500,000 to over 32 million. Duck and waterfowl went from too small to count to over 44 million. For any member of the hunting community, it's well known that breaking any of the hunting laws regulated by the Fish and Wildlife Service, established in 1940, can result in a fine, loss of privileges of hunting, and even jail time. there's a large number of legislation that can be noted on how it's impacted hunting. However, it's the public's interest that has impacted hunting the most. One key impact that the public made on conservation and impacting hunting as well was in 1941 when Disney released Bambi. The movie captured the emotion of the audience, resulting in a new outlook on life and how each individual person can impact the wildlife around them. As a result, bald eagles became federally protected in the United States. Smokey Bear, well-known cartoon animal, was created in 1945 and to this day is the figurehead for forest fire prevention. It's important to note just how many people and activist groups disagree with hunting. They don't support the hunting community. They're entitled to their thoughts and opinions as much as we in the hunting community are. However, I feel they should stop and realize just what would happen if we did not participate in hunting. Populations would become unstable, as reported in the 1920s. Wildlife would wreak havoc on urban areas and communities because their ecosystems just could not support the increased population. And so much more. Finally, hunters help support those in need. Here in Missouri, we have the Share the Harvest program. Share the Harvest, deer hunters are allowed to bring in their deer to properly licensed processors, and the venison is donated to those in need. In fact, in 2017, almost 290,000 pounds of venison was donated. Also, let's not forget the capital that we put into the economy and the jobs that hunting provides. Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation published a list of 25 reasons why hunting is conservation. For time purposes, I want to point out a few. This should help you realize just how much the hunting community is more like a tight-knit and caring family. Reason 20, hunting supports 680,000 jobs, from game wardens to waitresses, biologists to motel clerks. Reason number 23, avid hunter Theodore Roosevelt created national forests and grasslands, which forever protected 230 million acres of wildlife for the public to use and enjoy. Without national parks and forests, we'd lose our ties to nature and everything that makes our vast country so beautiful. In review, members of the hunting community have helped shape the country for the better by creating national wildlife areas, being an inclusive community so any man, woman, or child can be a part of it. We aid in fueling the economy, help those in need, regulate populations for safer communities, safer roadways, all while creating memories, having fun, and stories we can share, and putting food on the table. I want to wish you a farewell with a parting quote from Emily Rapervis, who really puts it into perspective. It's clear that hunting is more than a sport. It's even more than a lifestyle or means for food. Hunting keeps our country's beautiful lands intact and ensures the future of its wildlife. Hunting is an essential part of life. Hunting is conservation. And most importantly, hunting, we're a community.